Good afternoon, everyone. Today's session is about stochastic gradient descent. In the previous lessons, we have learned about how to build connected networks, and we created some network weights using linear models. So in this lesson, we are going to learn about how to train a neural network and how neural networks learn. First, going to loss function and optimizer, we need to know about what is stochastic gradient descent. It is nothing but an optimization algorithm. It is used in machine learning applications to find how the model parameters corresponding to the model that fits to the predicted and actual outputs. So it is inexact, but it is a powerful technique. So we use stochastic gradient descent. In addition to this, we will be knowing about a loss function that measures how good the network predictions are, and an optimizer that can tell how to change its weight. Now coming to the loss function, we have seen up to now, we have seen that how to design an architecture for a network, but we haven't seen about how network solves a problem. So this is the job of the loss function. Basically, what a loss function does is it is a method that evaluates how well your algorithm models your data set. So it measures the disparity between the target's true value and the value the model predicts. So we have seen different problems for different loss functions. We have been looking for regression problems where the task is to predict some numerical value. So we have a formula for a loss function for regression problems that is also called as mean absolute error. We can define it as subtracting the predicted value from the true value. If we use this function, we will be able to calculate the mean absolute error, which gives the loss function absolute of y true value minus y predicted value. This is the graph that is plotted for the absolute error of all different data. So basically the mean absolute error is the average length between the fitted curve and the data points. Besides absolute error, other loss functions you might see for regression problems are mean squared error. During the training of the model, we will use loss function as a guide for finding the correct values of its weight. In other words, loss function tells the network its objective. Next, coming to optimizer, we have described the problems we want the network to solve, but now we need to say how to solve the problem. So this is the job of the optimizer. It is an algorithm that adjusts the weights to minimize the loss. In this optimizer, we will be using one of the optimization algorithm that is called ADAM. It is an optimization algorithm that can be used instead of classical stochastic gradient descent procedure to update the network's weight. So virtually all the optimization algorithms used in deep learning belong to a family called stochastic gradient descent. So first we'll be training some data and run it through the networks to make predictions. Next, loss function will be calculated and between the predictions and the true values. Finally, adjusting the weights. So each we are seeing this graphs between the x and y. Each iteration sample of training data is called a mini batch. So while a complete round of training data is called an epoch. So the number of epochs you train for is how many times the network will see each training example. So next coming to the learning rate and the batch size. For the ones unaware, generally the batch size is bigger than the learning rate. This is just because batch size is a term which is used in machine learning for the number of training examples utilized in one iteration. It can be one of the three options, like number that can be divided into total data set size. And ADAM is used as a stochastic algorithm here. Full form is adaptive moment estimation. And the size of the shifts is determined by learning rate, and the dataset size is defined by batch size. Next, for the model, we will be adding the loss function and the optimizer. Using model.compile, we will give the optimizer equal to ADAM optimizer algorithm, and the loss is equal to MAE, which is mean absolute error. Next, in this, they have defined what is stochastic gradient descent. The gradient is basically a vector that tells us in what direction the weight needs to go, and we call a process called gradient descent because it uses the gradient to descend the loss curve towards a minimum. So stochastic means determined by chance. So our training is stochastic because the mini batches are random samples from a data set, and that's why it is called stochastic gradient descent. For example, we have taken the quality of the red wine to predict. So we need to start training the model in this. This dataset consists of some measurements about 1600 red wines, also include the quality rating for each wine from blind taste sets. This is the data set, and how many inputs should this network have? We discovered this by looking at the number of columns in the data matrix. We should not include the quality, so excluding the quality, they have printed the inputs and the data set size, that is 1119 and 11 columns. Next, we have chosen 3-layer network with 1500 neurons, and the model is predicted, and this model we have used in the previous lesson to add the dense layers to the model. So next we'll define the model using optimizer and loss function for the red wine quality prediction. Next, the epochs will be predicted by using the optimizer as optimizer batch size as 256 rows, and we have to do that for 10 times, which is epoch size is 10 and the batch size is 256. We need to train the model using this model.fit of. We need to train the x data and y data so that it will give the loss function for every epoch. Here we have done it for 10 times. So for every one step it will be giving the loss function, calculating the loss function, and for 10 iterations it will be giving the different loss functions. So for this we need to convert the data frame. Here we are having this many loss functions only for 10 iterations, but if we have infinite iterations it is impossible to go through every loss function. So here we have plotted the graph between the x-axis and y-axis, so we can know about the loss functions graphically. So here are the loss levels as the epochs go by. When the loss curve becomes horizontal, that means the model has learned all it can, and there would be no reason to continue additional epochs. So here now we will be going to do an exercise using this SGD. So I would like to do everyone to do the exercise along with me. in this exercise, you will train a neural network on this dataset, fuel economy dataset, and then explore the effect of learning rate and batch size on stochastic gradient descent. So here for setting up, we need to run this cell. So now it is set up, and in this fuel economy dataset, your task is to predict the fuel economy of an automobile given features like its type of engineer or the year it was made. First, we need to load the dataset by running this cell so that the dataset will be loaded. Here in the last step, they have printed the input shape so that the inputs we are giving 50. So that now take a look at the data if you like. So our target in this case is to find the fuel economy column, and remaining columns are the features. So this is the data set we are going to run, 5 rows and 50 columns. So we need to run the next cell to define the network we will use for this task. This is the network or the model that we have created with 3 layers as input and the last layer as output layer. The first task is to add loss and optimizer. Before training the network, we need to define the loss and the optimizer we will use. Using the model's compile method, add Adam optimizer and mean absolute error loss. So here we need to add loss and optimizer. In the previous lesson, we have learned about how to add optimizer. That is, so we need to add so we have added the optimizer as Adam and the loss function as mean absolute error. Next we need to train the model. So once you have defined the model and compiled it with a loss and optimizer, next it is ready for training. So here they ask to train the network for 200 epochs and the batch size is 128. So the input data is X and the target value is Y. So here we need to train the model using this code using fit model.fit. But in the above code, they have given just X value. They have not given X the underscore train. So here we need to change the values as just X and Y. And the batch size also we need to change it to 200, 128, and the epoch size is 200. So for every epoch there will be a loss function, validation loss function. So for example, if we remove the validation, just it will be printing the loss value, loss function. If we give the validation, it will be printing the validation loss. Next, the last step is to look at those loss curves and evaluate the training. So now we need to plot a graph. We cannot analyze every loss function. So here we will be plotting a graph between all the loss functions. After that, we'll be evaluate the training. So if you train the model longer, would you expect the loss to decrease further? For this, we need to run this cell so that we'll getting the answer. This depends on how the loss has evolved during training. If the learning curves have leveled off, there won't usually be any advantage to training for additional epochs. So if we get the horizontal line, we have no need to do for more epochs. So for example, they have given some data set with learning rate, batch size and example. So here they have we need to experiment with different values for learning rate, batch size and number of examples. We'll be getting some graphs between the functions. Finally, we need to just what effect did changing these parameters have. So, for smaller batch sizes, we are getting the Neusser weights updates and the loss curves from the above graphs. So this is because each batch is a small sample of data, and the average effect will be beneficial. So that's it for the today's class. I hope everyone have done the exercise. Anybody having doubts? Okay, thank you.